No Cap family, welcome back. Man, we always appreciate y'all joining us once again. And I just have to say, man, I got to share with y'all. I didn't even get a chance to share with you because I was out with my family yesterday, and the amount of support and compliments we got on the show, man, it was amazing. Like, we love this, we love what y'all doing, keep it going. So we just wanted to shout out to the people, man. Shout out to No Cap family. Personally, man, we personally appreciate y'all. We couldn't do it without y'all, with all the support.
No Cap family, we love y'all. And you, I'm proud of you, man.
I appreciate it.
Because you, where we started, not just you, me too.
Yeah.
Like, we were rough around the edges.
Yeah, hey, that's how it goes. You come from the ground up, you know. You gotta see some progression, you know. So hopefully y'all are seeing that as well. And we love the comments, the shares, just like I said, all the support, man. Y'all know what we do.
Yeah.
We like to highlight people in the community that's making a difference. You know, we have somebody today. We got a businesswoman.
Hey y'all.
Fashion visionary, philanthropist, and just somebody that's creating opportunities for men, women, and children, and we love that.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
And we No Cap family, so it's my honor to introduce Latoya White.
Yes, so I am Latoya White, like he stated. A lot of people call me Toya, and I guess you just wanted me to break down everything of what I do.
Well, who is Latoya?
Okay. Sounds like you know what y'all want me to do.
She just take the whole show. We ain't got to ask yet. She got it.
We're just paying in on her, right?
Who is Latoya White? She is someone outgoing. I'm going to talk in third party real quick. But she is someone outgoing, someone very just fierce, someone who follows her own visions and doesn't take no for an answer. Now I'm going to turn it back over to me because that's how I like to introduce myself. I be feeling so selfish. I don't want to be like, and I. But, so yes, I am definitely someone who likes to just follow their own visions. When I was 9, I would get visions. And I would say, if only I can make them come alive. You know, how can I do that? At 9, I saw myself running a corporation, flying, doing all these things. And I was like, no, that ain't me. I don't got the money. I don't know how I'm going to do that, you know. And I would just see people around me. But I'm blessed to just say I'm able to just make that outlet for myself. So, yeah, that's pretty much who I am. I just don't take no for an answer.
So that came to you as in like a vision at 9.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
See, that's how God talked to you right there.
Yes.
You know, you had these epiphanies of the future.
Right.
Yeah. No, so, and it came to because I was raised by my grandmother down south. They're very, you know, straightforward. Outside, if you hungry, you gotta go fix it yourself, you know, and if you want something, you gotta go do it yourself. So she would go outside and hang clothes up on the clothing line and stuff. And I would say, you know, when I get older, I want to go down the street because I live in a family line. So it was my grandmother, it was my grandfather, you know, he didn't leave her, he just moved across the street. So,
Where was this?
Right. You know?
Where's this? Where you from?
So I am officially from here. I live down on Quezon Road. It's a back road, and I'm not afraid to say it because everybody is related. But you know, it's my grandmother, my grandfather, his sister, his brother, and we just own the whole road and go on down. Right. So I always said when I get older, I want to put money in everybody's mailbox because everybody was older. Now, I didn't realize they die off. I didn't realize, you know, everybody get old and can't really fend for themselves. But the vision still sustained because, of course, their kids took over. And then their children's children had ended up taking over. So it's still in the family line. So I really had got that whole vision at 9. It's just how to bring that about.
Yeah, and you said these people that were influential in your life, you saw them being hardworking. Mm-hmm. So was it just from you seeing them, or did somebody have to say, this is how it's done?
No, I actually had saw them. I would see my grandmother be like the go-to person, you know, and I would say, why do I always go to her? You know what I mean? I would say, all these people here. And then she would walk past me and say, you're different. You're like me. And I would say, no, I'm not. You know, I would say, I don't know what you mean. Whatever. But now that I'm almost 40 years old, I get it because I'm the go-to person. So I see everything that she went through, everything that she had to endure. And she just didn't stop, regardless of the stones being thrown at her, sticks, whatever. She was just like, oh, okay, whatever, try me, almost like a Superman, and just kept on going. So, you know, I mean, she's the strongest person I know, rest her soul. So I definitely grew up just seeing that, and that's what kept me going.
And I think that's important, because, you know, we always love to speak to the youth. opportunities too, right?
Yeah.
And even with me, like being a parent, you know, you think you have to like speak and it's just gonna beat that into a child, right?
Right.
You have to force them to do things, but really it's just by leading by example.
Correct.
You know?
Correct.
Yeah. So, like I said, fashion visionary. What sparked your interest in fashion?
So I've always been into fashion. It has been almost like me writing a story. You have people that like to paint. You have people that like to write songs and, you know, do different outlets, right? So to me in high school, I would say mostly middle school, it came about. It was my way of saying this is my identity. This is who I am. I didn't like to be like everybody else. I always wanted to stand out. Now, I wasn't a problem child. I wasn't a child that liked to just cause hell, of course. I was always that one that wanted to help. But of course, with so many people wanting to help, and so many people doing the, I guess, fitting in the crowd thing, fashion became my way of just standing out. So, you know, when I came in, it was, who's the girl with the, you know, pants rolled all the way up? And I was like, that's me. You know, so it just became my form and my way of expressing myself and also becoming my identity. So I just like to say, people like to draw, people like to sing, I like to do fashion. You know, so it was a really confidence booster for me.
So in high school, you started dressing real outgoing.
Yeah, I had some witnesses, you know, I'd be like, hey, what y'all doing? You're not at the school. They'd be, we not going with you. You going to the store, you gonna keep us there for 3 or 4 hours. We got things to do. And I'm like, well, y'all just wanna go shopping, you know, to find something else. But I played basketball in high school. So I already had fitted in. So like I said, just dressing up just became my form of just something for myself. You know, it wasn't, oh, I'm the girl who's good at basketball, I'm the starter, I'm this, I'm that. It was just simply, oh, okay, that's a girl who knows how to dress, and I like that. Because I didn't have to share it, let me just say it like that. So, you know, that's really what kind of sparked my interest. I actually had went through a bad depression after I had my children, and, you know, I had to think about what really made me happy. And what really made me happy is when I would dress up, and when I had my own identity, and when I, you know, did stuff for me. That was my way of saying that was me, right? Like I just stated. So I ended up saying, I'm gonna get back into fashion again. So I started creating a line, and I said, let me do a line, because that's gonna bring me back. Now, one thing about people in depression, in our society, we don't talk about it. So I just knew that I felt a little off, and I knew I felt different, but I didn't know what was wrong with me. And it almost became to be a form of saying, I think something wrong, you know, I don't know, you know, but this is how I feel a little bit, and I don't want to talk about it. So I'm going to go back over here, you know, people was like, okay, she weird, what is really going on with her? But it just became to be that way of me just saying, okay, I'm going through depression, I am this, and when I got back into clothing, it kind of just brought that out of me. It, you know, I really kind of zoned in. I was able to take some of that stress, I guess you could say, some of that, I guess those feelings, and kind of put it into clothing.
That's
and just to see.
But I didn't want to stop you.
Yeah,
no,
it's fine.
Go ahead.
Like, talk to me now.
Yeah.
Talk to me. But yeah, it just kind of, just to see things come alive, and just, I don't know, I guess I kind of started to get my spunk back. And like I said, we don't talk about it enough in society, so we don't realize sheltering ourselves alone can make it worse. You know, I just knew that I just didn't want to be bothered with it. And people would say, well, that's not you, that's that. And it would make me feel worse than what I did, rather than saying, hey, what's wrong? Or let's talk about it, because I really don't know where to start to even talk about it. You know, and so that became to be really like a high focus point where I was like, enough is enough. You know, I'm getting back to me, and then that's how the clothing part was born.
So I know fashion is art. So when you were going through the depression, did you express the depression through what you wore, or was you like, I'm gonna do the exact opposite and wear bright yellow and green?
I actually did the complete opposite.
Yeah.
So I was like, I feel dark, gloomy, so I am gonna go to brights and, you know, my neons and my greens. And so it was, when I went to a store, a young lady said, well, you do so well in clothing, because I didn't know people wanted to buy it. I didn't think that far. I was just like, you know, I'm making shirts, because this is just something I like to do. And so I asked God a night before, and I said, what can I call my line? And I had a dream, and Latoya popped in my head. And I said, Latoya, I like that, you know. And so I went to research it and look it up, and Latoya mean lion. And I was like, okay. And I said, no, excuse me, Latoya mean tower, and Leon meant lion. So I said, that's perfect, those are me. So the motto came, we stand tall as a tower with courage big as a lion, because I won't be moved out of this. I'm coming out of this, you know. And I was like, at the end of the day, when a lion wants food, it sends a lioness to go out and get it, so I'm already hurt. Like, you know, that's how I'm thinking. I'm like, I'm already hurt. So I started calling my line Latoya, and next thing you know, it started selling. And when it went to higher fashion weeks, you know, they would say, well, Latoya is here. And I was like, say that again? That joint sound, yeah. I was like, hold on, that joint sound expensive. That's me. You know? Yeah, I was like, yeah, I am charging $10, $20. You know, they was like, Latoya is out here. And I was like, yo, that sounds like a $50 plan.
Name ringing bells.
Right. And so when I went to different fashion weeks and saw that, I was like, I can do that too. And I saw how they were turning away different young girls. And what really sparked me was, it was girls like, man, I just had a baby. You know, I really wanted to get out here and feel like something. I was like, man, I know exactly what you're going through. You know, like I'm coming out of this. And so that's how Fredericksburg Fashion Week was born.
And you sound like you kind of created your own self-care.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And like they say, you look good, you feel good.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
That's true.
Look, I want to say, we came out there, I knew we was for the fashionista. I might have to look like something today. You know what I'm saying? She said she was wearing jeans. I was like, man, no, that's all, man. But look, yeah.
And she just left somewhere.
Thank
She was
you.
like, we don't know if that's true.
Yeah, you know what? I got witnesses. Let me call.
Yeah, no, that's awesome though. So keep us going. You left high school, you found this interest in fashion, and then did you just one day wake up and you in the fashion week and how did this?
So as I developed my clothing brand and I was selling some things, let's face it, everything comes to an end. So I really didn't have the whole knowledge of business per se that I needed. I just knew I was determined to make this happen. But it's a lot of backlash. It's keeping inventory. It's stuff that I am very high knowledgeable about now. I was not. It's about keeping inventory, keeping the books, just keeping different things. I didn't know how to do it. You know, people was asking for 4 or 5 shirts. I was like, look, I got one left. You know, I got one left. Oh, and they, well, when the next one coming in? Like, when I get the money, you know. So it was very kind of like, okay, I think this is coming to an end. But how to still keep it relevant. So I ended up going to another thing, which was a fashion blog. And I said, you know, if I don't have the money to keep making me, to make me stand out, I'm still going to keep being physical in their face until I can get me together, you know. So I kind of left that alone. I did get a 9 to 5 and was working. I took my kids to the library and I told them to give me a word. I have 4 children, so everybody turned around. And point blank period, it came to yes one flash fashion. And everybody had earphones on. So they gave me those names. So I ended up becoming to do a fashion podcast and a fashion blog called Yes One Flash Fashion. And so I said, you know what, this is it. I got it. Instagram, we on a pop it. Why get a 9 to 5 and go? Well, that requires time and patience too. I don't have that. I'm forgetting to post. I'm forgetting to do a lot of things, you know, but I still want to stay relevant. I went to work one day and the lady said, you just really project yourself so well. You dress so nice every time you come in here. Why are you here? And I took that with me for about a week and I kept asking myself, why am I here? And I created a list, and the list, one side said the reasons why I'm here, of course, bills, kids, the usual. The other side, I said, what really is for me? And I couldn't think of anything. And the only thing I could think of was I'm helping someone else build a legacy. I'm not creating my own. I did not feel well with that. That did not sit well with me. So I remember that day I got up and I left and I told her I can't give them no more of my time. And I left. And I quit. And I walked out. And that day I said, I don't know how I'm going to start something, but I'm going to do my own platform. And that's truly how Fredericksburg Fashion Week emerged. When we started, I started to get models. I'm just being very transparent on their podcast today, okay, guys? So, I searched and I was like, I need the money for this. I got to get it in. So I asked models to pay me to get onto the platform. Now, you're not supposed to have models pay you, and you shouldn't have models pay you to model. But I was honest with them. This is how I'm going to start my platform. This is how I'm going to get it up and running. You know, I need you guys' help for me to help you, pretty much. So that's how it started. Now, push comes to shove, we don't need it anymore. You know, by the grace of God, I have been able to get sponsors. I have been able to get people that invest in us. And I'm talking about Goodwill. They're a major part of our success. Walmart, Target, higher brands that I never even thought of would come. And I'm looking at this brand versus everybody else's. And they're saying, well, what is making you grow so well? All I know is we're being true to who we are. You know, I'm not trying to run these models over. And I'm not saying every brand is trying to do that. I'm just saying I want women to come on here, feel good about themselves, boost their self-esteem, and it's for the right reasons. And these are for kids too. And so while we're creating opportunities, you know, because I'm hustling, bustling every day, I'm like, excuse me, you know, I got some models for y'all. I know, and some of these models they wouldn't even take a chance on, but they're like, you know what, you talk so well about them, let me see them. And it's kind of like giving them that second look. And that's how we've been able to be successful. So I'm very proud of that.
So you talk from starting from the ground up. Obviously, you just quit your jobs. You went, you know, cold turkey. I'm gonna focus, put all my energy into this. At what moment in that process did it hit you that okay, this is gonna be successful?
Honestly, I would say this year. This year, truthfully, you never stop perfecting your craft. So to me, I wasn't doing enough. And if you ask me today, I'm still not doing enough. And you know, I have people that are around me who are supporters that are like, girl, you're doing too much. Go somewhere and sit down. Like you just was on Fox 5 News. You just was doing this. And I'm like, what that doesn't mean that. You know, I'm not doing enough. Like when you sign all my girls on the platform, now we're talking. You know what I mean? When you got all my kids in movies doing something successful, now we're talking. And so then I'm not doing enough. You know, I'm still up at night researching. I'm still doing what I need to do. I'm still looking to see what's out there, who's out there, you know, what other opportunities I can give these girls. This is just not for show. Even though a lot of people would say it, it's not. I take it very seriously. And once again, that's why we are at the place that we are. And that's why God is working tremendously in our success.
So, who do you think, like when you think of yourself, is there anyone before you that you look up to or aspire to be in fashion?
Honestly, I never really had a person that I looked up to. Let me take that back. My grandmother, I looked up to her a lot. My mom, I did too. But someone to be like that really go-getter foundation, like don't take no stuff. I'm like, who could that be? And I said, you know, I'm going to be that person. In fashion right now, there is not one person, but there is someone I do idolize. And that is Lana Ray. She is a producer. She does go around and does different things. She does produce the Met Gala. And I just loved her stamina on how she goes out and she creates platforms and takes them by storm. So I will say I do have someone I idolize. Now, to be like, that's a little hard for me because I always want to be myself. And I'm like, ain't nobody doing better than me. But yeah, I would definitely just say, I would say her in that aspect.
Okay. So what year are we on with the Fashion Week here in Fredericksburg now?
So we are on to our 8th season, which is, we're doing very well. I looked at myself and was like, 8, good gosh, you know. But we are on to our 8th season, and I am just super excited on how everything is going. I have a wonderful group of girls and guys. My kids are amazing. Just everyone. Everybody comes out, give it their all. Their personality shines bright. And when I say I have different people calling, want to work with so many people, it is amazing. And that's all I can ask for. So I'm definitely excited about that. Even more excited when we make top 10 here.
Yeah.
So at 8 seasons, I always wondered this, like, how do you stay ahead of the trends? It's constantly changing, evolving.
It is. It's all in just being creative. Trends are trends. People follow what they want to follow. But as long as you can keep what works for you in and keep being creative, you have no choice but to still capture their attention. You know, so jeans, for instance. Jeans is never going to go out of style. You know, somebody can come in here today with denim and you be like, oh, I like those all right. But then, I mean, let's go ahead and face it. Let's go ahead and shred them up a little bit. Let's add some color to it. You know, but then on top of that, let's do a reel. It's so many AI generation things out here that you can do. It's so many, TikTok and all that stuff that you can do just to make it different. People, you have no choice but to capture their attention still. So I would just say being creative.
Yeah, so you're not really following trends. You're setting them. You're, pushing fashion forward.
Yes. And sometimes it bothers people. And I say that because a lot of people don't like different. They like the similar things. I do see a lot of people that copy me, and that doesn't bother me because I asked for this role. I asked to be a trendsetter. So if they're not copying you, something is wrong. But don't get mad at me about it. You're trying to be like me or sustain a certain caliber like me, and it's not working. Don't turn around and get upset because it's not working. Because I didn't have nothing to do with it. I'm not telling you to do it.
Yeah.
I'm literally just walking in my own lane, and it just feels like I'm literally writing. And when I look up, I'm like, oh, that's cute. I think I did that like 2 years ago. Okay, well, keep on. And I'm just in my notebook, and I wake. Oh, hold on. I think we did that like 4 years ago. I'm not sure, but keep doing what you're doing. I like that. That's cute. So that's literally how I'm focused right now. I'm just gun ho in my lane.
So that when you have an idea, you write it down, and then you have someone like go and create this vision that you wrote down. What's the creation process like?
So the creation process is I normally think of something and it comes very easy. So I get very inspired easily. I got inspired with like 6 things sitting right here now talking to y'all. So that's just how my mind works. And when I think it could help a nation or help someone or help children or just make an impactful decision, I set to go out to do it. I am working on something right now, and I wanted to bring this up to you guys and to also talk on your podcast about it, because I am doing something called the Virginia Project. So guys, if anyone is out there and would like to help out about what I'm about to talk about, please reach out to these wonderful guys. So it is called the Virginia Project. It's going to start in 2026, and every Saturday I'm going to have different people, so a carpenter, a barber, a nail tech, anybody in a certain profession. I want them to come and talk to the children and help them to go over and really tell them what it took to get there, show them how things are done, and really open up new pathways for them, because there's so many of them that are so gun-ho on saying, hey, I'm going to the NBA, and they don't quite meet the NBA standards. It's so many who are gun-ho on doing certain things, but then yet they don't want to go to school. So they really need to hear the impact on what it takes to really make, and to be able to follow that. A lot of that helps me is my own children. I have 4, and everyone has a story. So, I've been homeless, lived in, hotels. I didn't know how I was going to feed my babies at times, so a lot of my things came from pain. So, not only do I say depression, but I'm talking about I'm hurt, like I'm broken inside, you know what I mean? So I really had to search for certain things. So as I did that, I monitored them and was like, okay, they kind of taught me a lot too. So I like to say my kids saved my life also. So.
Well, the Virginia Project, that's what he do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
He speak to the youth and
Yes.
yeah.
So that's why, and it sparked to me in a dream, and I was like, we need something out here. Not only because they're taking away our trade schools, but these kids, they're running around. Parents are tired. They're working. They don't really have the whole essence of speaking to them. I have a child that I talked to the other day who said their parents are working for nothing. And when I talked to them and said, well, what do you mean about that? They was like, well, she comes home, our lights are always off. I'm taking care of my brothers and my sisters. I get it, how you say your parents is working for nothing. But what you're not understanding is parents are not talking to their children. So that makes them frustrated. And that makes them want to go out. And that makes them want to just say, you know what, I can't help my mom, I can't do this. And then they're upset at the world, right? So let's get them, and I'm not saying it's going to work. I don't know. I'm just saying I'm trying to put that outlet out there. Right. And just, try to see what they like. You have a lot of kids that say, I don't like that, I don't want to do that. And my son is famous for that. But then when I open him up to it, hey, Mom, that wasn't so bad. I'm like, I told you, I told you. So I think that really had something to do with it also. So not to kind of go off subject.
I'm excited. I'm excited. We about to get this Virginia Project popping.
And we can both come and speak. We'd love to speak to you.
Yes. And I would love for you guys too. And any positive words that you guys can share as we're doing this, or any ideas, I would love all hands on deck. I'm not saying I have the whole thing sorted out yet. This is definitely going to take a community effort, and I'm looking for everybody to just put in hands, not so much as money, but just put on hands, because as long as we can supply the tools for the children, why not? You know what I mean? Why not? All they got to do is see us start. That's it.
Why not just bring everybody who's ever been on the podcast?
Oh, that's
It's
amazing.
Oh,
every
that's dope.
profession.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
dope.
I know y'all watching.
Yeah.
For sure. Y'all lock in with us.
Yeah, we're gonna make that happen. So you say 2026.
Mhm.
Man, this is gonna be great. This
Yes.
is gonna be great.
Yes.
So one thing you say, you work with so many models and youth.
Mhm.
What is it anybody who's picking your brain, trying to do what you do? What are you? How you coaching? You know?
All the time.
Yeah. Is it the
All the
models
time.
or the fashionistas or what?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Let's just say I have inboxes on social media and they'd be like, what you wearing today? You know, and I'm like, what? You know, I don't think I see that. I don't think I seen that. Or, you know, I have people that are saying, what shoes you got on today? Or I'll have people that say, how's your hair today? You know, like I have those messages. And I just gotta say, let me put the phone down for a second, you know, but once again, I'm not a gatekeeper, so I don't mind. I give knowledge. I'm a firm believer that God speaks through certain people. So if I know something and I had to go through and I had to learn it, I'm not afraid to give it out. Because after I give that knowledge out, they still have to put the work in.
Right.
You know, it's almost like prayer. You still can pray, but you still have to put the work in and have Him lead you. So my inboxes are always flooded. I still take time to reach out and tell them what needs to be done. And once again, after I do that, it's on them.
I love that, because it's enough out here for everybody.
It is, and I'm a big fan about that, and I think that's what makes a lot of people upset. You know what I mean? I get told all the time, your heart's too good. And I'm like, what you mean? You know, or you know, I get people saying you need to charge $50, $60. I'm like, for what? You know what I mean? For what? I can get the money. I'm gonna spend it tomorrow, but then what? So so many people have dropped nuggets too. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
And so out of all that you've learned over these years, what's one thing you wish, however many, what did you wish you knew in the beginning?
I wish I knew business ethics. And what I mean by that is coming into this, it does take patience. It does take, you know, of course, people's skills. It does take a lot of work. But with that lot of work is the back end. You know, you do need to have different things structured up appropriately. You know, by the grace of God, our businesses are wonderful. You know, everything's legit. Everything is, you know, straightforward. I wouldn't be doing that if that's not the case. But when I say the business back end of everything, I'm talking about how to make more opportunities happen. I'm doing what I think is okay right now. But, you know, I want to go nationwide. You know what I mean? I want to go all over the world. So that's why I stuck international behind our name. Because although people can't see it, that's something that we're going to get to. You know, it's not for them to see yet. I want people to really be able to say, oh, okay, she grew that, and she international, you know.
Yeah.
So that's something that I just want people to see. So that's why I went ahead and stuck it onto there. So, you know, it's just, everything is all a learning process. That's it, I'm still learning.
And so you were young when you got into the fashion weeks and all of that. And I know they're not easy to get in.
No.
So is that one of the biggest challenges? What are some of the biggest challenges that you face? And how can we help?
Yeah. Some of the biggest challenges that I have is trying to find certain places to have shows, I would say. Here in the Fredericksburg area, there's not many. So to help accommodate or to get them to accommodate such a large party and to have everything that we need, it does require a lot. I would say those are the number one challenges. Two, I'm an African American woman. You know, not many people want to see me coming. Not many people want to see me win. I have been told, you know, for a young black girl, you sure do own a larger business than most. You know, and I have to suck that up. And I just be like, yeah, you know, like, it ain't bigger yet. You know, but it's going to get there. Almost like giving them that eye. So really, those are just the number two challenges that I face. How you guys can help? You guys can help anytime. I'm always looking for volunteers. We do have a gala August the 2nd, which is Saturday. So that is going to be amazing at downtown in Fredericksburg. And you know, those are that's an awards, a Met Gala dinner and award ceremony. And for that, what I'm doing is I'm using this platform to award different people in the community doing things. Our motto for Fredericksburg Fashion Week is we are more than fashion. We do have mental health marches that we did start with. I kind of pulled those because I saw people, they really wasn't taking to it, and I understood. but I more so had ended up pulling them to get more sociable, I guess to get more closer to people. So I said, you know what, to replace that, I'm gonna start doing galas. So that's how this gala came about. So.
You know, I'm a visionary, man. I see a lot of things coming together.
Yeah.
You know, just being a part of the community. We love, that's our motto.
Yeah.
Just trying to pour back into the community, and that's, man, this is, you know, I prayed before this episode so it go well.
I know that's right.
This
No,
one
that's
gonna
right.
be solid.
Yeah.
But I ain't even looking at my
Wait,
paper.
I'm just gonna say, Domi said he wanna walk in one of them shows.
Oh, you know, I get my model on. I get my model on.
I am always looking for men, okay? I have so many women. I'm like, okay, 4 or 5 men. I need more men.
Yeah.
So, yes, both of y'all, go ahead and come on out.
Ain't no walk, no run.
Even the cameraman, you come on out.
Hey,
You know,
so you
yeah,
say
we gonna talk about this.
Yeah, for sure. So go ahead.
Oh, I know. Brand authenticity. Authenticity. Because I'm like, man, I feel neglecting my we just going off the.
Well, I think you touched a lot on that. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you just being yourself keeps your brand authentic.
That's it. Perfect.
You want to expand on that? That was it.
I mean, really, that's it. As long as I'm
Okay.
just true to who I am, that's all that matters, and it makes it go. Because what I'm going to do is just, you know, of course, visionary. I see things, I'm gonna pray on it, and then I'm gonna just go out and tackle it. I'm not expecting for anyone's approval. As long as me and God got an understanding, and you know, He granted me more dreams to come about, and He got my best interest at heart. That's all that matters. So.
And that's the main thing, is having a purpose behind what you're doing. You know, because sometimes the business can bog you down, but if you have a purpose in your passion, you can always remember that.
That's it.
And hold on to that
Yeah.
to navigate through this. So, with that being said, what do you think is one of your biggest successes?
Ooh, that's a good
It
one.
could be something that you mentioned already. You know,
Well, I have so many, so with me, I have to sit back and think, because like I said earlier, I feel like I don't do enough. You know, people be like, congratulations, oh my God, you're doing that. I'm like, that's it, you know. I got more, you know, I got more. Y'all don't know what I got, but I appreciate it for right now.
Right.
You know, I'm not trying to sound crazy or nothing, but it's just like, that's not good enough for me. But I will say a couple of successes that I'm proud about is actually coming in partnership with Goodwill. And we have developed a show called Whose Style Is It Anyway? And I have been able to up the numbers of people coming into the Goodwill by 80% last year and even 25% this year. So that has been amazing, just from off of that show. So we actually have made the numbers go up. I actually was on Fox 5 News, not once, not twice, but 3 times. So we were able to have a nice interview for that. And then the newest edition, I don't know if you've seen it, I added it on Facebook, but I actually have been accepted to go to Jennifer Hudson this fall. So,
Wow.
thank you. Yes.
That's a big deal.
Yes.
That's a big
So
deal.
after I bugged her, you know, all last year, I was like, about time, girl.
Yeah.
That's great.
But yeah, she has wrote us back, and so we are planning in motion. So we're going to see if we can hold a fashion show, and of course the models who have been down for us and everybody who supports us, of course, will be #1 to go, because that's just how I look at it. If you're supporting me during my vision and then my dreams, I'm going to definitely reward you back with all that I have. So.
And the show you said, Whose Style Is It? Did you say?
Whose Style Is It Anyway?
Okay. Where can we see that?
So you can go to YouTube and see that as well. And actually on TikTok, that actually went to Netflix, but Netflix has not written us back yet on that. But we are trying to get that into Netflix on 2026. Right now we're on season 2, episode 4, and our next our next show will be September 6th. I just had a conversation with her yesterday.
Oh.
So September 6th will be our next recording at Goodwill. They let us come in the morning at 8 o'clock. And what we do is we have different models participate. And I do pick a designer, how can I put it? I do pick a celebrity look, and they just have to match that look. They have 10 minutes on the clock, and they're pretty much good about what they get. So they can get gifts, they can get tickets to the Nats game, they can get a monetary gift, or they even can get to keep their items. So it's just really all in how they feel, but they give away tremendous, amazing gifts. Because sometimes I'm like, are you sure? You know, do you know can I get it too? So yeah, that has also been very, very good too.
So how is that working with the Goodwill? Y'all doing it there and they having to pick out the clothes from there?
Mm-hmm, yes.
Oh, this is like a...
I watched that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't expect for it to go so well. Once again, it was just one of those things. I said, hey, I have this crazy question, and they love it, you know. So we have a lot of people who want to be on the episode, and it is open to the community.
Okay.
We always start with our models first, and if nobody says they would like to come on, then we do open it up to everybody. We do have where you can go to our website and sign up for specific days and times that we are recording, and we will call you and kind of screen you a little bit, and you're able to come on. We prefer you to have a business so that we can, shout your business out, but you don't have to have a business. We just want everybody to come on and have fun. So.
And shop the website out.
So it's fxbgfashionweek.com. So they definitely can go on there. You can fill out anything, photographer, whatever you feel like you want to help us with, volunteer work, anything, and then you also can fill out for the episodes. So yes.
Y'all heard it, no cap. Reese, you ain't done though, man.
So you made a comment about people saying that, oh, you being a black woman,
Mm-hmm.
you have a bigger brand than we thought you would.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell to the young black girls? You have to tell them something.
Keep going. Keep going. One thing I have learned in Fashion Week is patience. As much as I want to do drive-bys, as much as I want to be like, oh, she got me messed up, you know. As much as I just want to just get out of character, I don't. And I never let anyone see me get out of character. I may have to go around back and scream a couple times like, oh my God, she trying me, you know. But I always come back in, always stern face, I mean business. And one thing no one is going to talk to me is out of my position. Because I have worked hard to get here. And regardless if they don't think I'm qualified, God said I was qualified. And that's why I got it so far. So, obviously, if I wasn't, they wouldn't be bothered, right? So I always have to remember that, and I just, okay. And I know they'd be like, okay, she's crazy, but, I go out back and be like, ah!
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I would definitely just tell young girls, just keep going. Even boys, just keep going. Our positions are not easy, so we just have to keep tackling challenges.
Yeah, honestly, that's for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's for everybody. So we want to know, is there anything you haven't shared you want to share, and also what should the audience look out for?
So I can say, well, pretty much everything I shared. I pretty much shared everything I wanted. More to come is something that I would say to be looking out for. I'm never done. Everything is out for their own good, but I really want everybody to watch out for this Virginia project. That is something dear to my heart. Whatever I have done, however I have done it, I'm trying to really just make this the biggest thing out right now. And it's a community effort. I'm definitely going to need community on this one. So that is just something to really look out for.
Yeah. Lock in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and all the former guests of No Cap Radio, we gonna get the date to every one of y'all individually, and we coming to speak to the kids.
Yes.
Just like that.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Latoya. Enjoy having you.
Thank
You've been very motivational. I'm definitely been motivated. We like to, educate and be educated.
Definitely.
I've been educated and motivated. I'm ready to get out here.
I'm so inspired.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I'm like, did I talk too much? Y'all know I can keep going, but I give y'all the same. I give y'all the same.
We trying to hit an hour. I don't think we there yet.
So.
No, it's all good. It's been an honor to have you, and we about to really build together. So I'm looking forward to.
I'm excited.
Yeah, what we're gonna do, and the thing is, when you said the Virginia project, I'm like, the youth, that's right up there. It just make too much sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and it really struck me when all these deaths are occurring, and I just kept asking God, what is something that I can do? I'm not him, of course, but what is something I really can do without going and standing on a stool outside or even in the streets just chanting, we're going to make a change? What is something I really can make this change to? Because we hear all the time, we hear men talk, oh, I talk, and then they'll tell them their story, and then we don't hear back from them. And I mean, that's not saying that that's them. Life gets in the way, right?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to create a development where kids can run to us. They're facing this type, because some of these kids are not bad at all. You know, they're just following the leader. Some of these kids do be wanting to be like, you know, what should I do? This, that, this, and the third. This is what I seen yesterday, but I don't know which way to take. And we need to be there to be able to guide them the best way possible. And if we're not there, at least have them write something down or feel comfortable enough to do that. And I think that would suffice. I have been one of those kids. You know, like I said, I wasn't grown in a bad neighborhood. But, you know, I was the go-to person. So my friends would contact me and I'd be like, I don't know, I don't know. I find out who to talk to, you know. So why not just create that outlet for everybody?
And you know, they always tell you as a kid you can be anything you want to be.
That's
But
it.
the thing is, you don't even know all of the possibilities of things you can be.
That's it.
So what's that?
You don't even know what you hear or see. You don't
Right,
know, like you
right,
said.
what you've been exposed to.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think that having as many people of various professions coming on and speaking, it's exposing them to the possibilities of what they can be. So now they may strive to be like you, and you're an entrepreneur, you're a public speaker, you know, an artist.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like, man, this is attainable. I can reach out and grab this, talk to this person, pick their brain. So that's important. I'm challenging as many folks to come out for that
Yes.
Virginia Project 2026.
Yes, and I'm definitely excited for that. That's gonna be really good. Really good.
Yeah. Well, we getting the politicians and everybody back in this one.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
we doing it the right way.
And that is the goal. I have reached out to a couple of politicians right now in DC who's been helping, who has been giving me some ideas as well. This is not just here. It is just a nationwide thing, but I wanted to start where I'm from. And so I'm from Virginia, so let's make it the Virginia Project.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this. I need everybody to lock in right now.
That's it. Well, anything else? Last alibis?
That's it. I'm good. You blessed the show. So we
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Well, y'all heard it here first. No cap, y'all. We out.
Bye.